So my postpartum hair situation is coming out strong again. Hopefully this passes soon because I don't know how to style it and it bothers me, and then they actually stand up on top of my head too. Just so annoying. Hi guys, today I have my polish pickup shop my stash series again. This time around it's for April polish pickup. So if you're not familiar with the site, it's basically a whole bunch of indie makers that would all offer one exclusive polish every month, and they are all sold on the same website called Polish Pickup. I will have the website link down below if you want to go see what it is all about. But basically what I'm trying to do is to find the polishes that I feel I have like similar polishes to, and then I will show them to you. So that would help me to dial back on my own shopping. I totally wanted to do like a no buy 2020, but I just think that's a little too much. So I'm going to try to use this to encourage myself to buy as few as possible throughout the year. But I know for sure this month I am buying at least 2 because I really like them. On top of that, with what's happening to the world today, I think it's important to support small businesses too. So I kind of feel okay doing that. And of course, if you feel like buying polishes from those makers, you definitely should. This is just a series that I used to do, and I hope that at least provides you some interesting information. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is from Lemming Lacquer, and it's called Electric Pillowfish. So that polish is a thermal that transitions from kind of like a green teal color to a purple. That shift is pretty strong, or I think green to purple is a very contrasting color, so that's very interesting. I don't have any polish quite like that, but I do have a purple and a green, and they look like a cold or warm state respectively. So for the green polish, I picked my Wildflower Don't Play Coy. That one is actually, or was a polish pickup offering. I think it was December of last year. And then also I picked my Ethereal Lacquer, We're All Matte Here, and that one is a purple shade. Both of those are flaky heavy polishes, and they are very similar to the base colors of the Lemming Lacquer one, but of course there's no thermal property to that. The next one is Native War Paint's Unicorn of the Sea. So that one is really unique. I didn't think I would have a hard time looking for a similar polish, but I was almost shocked that I don't really have any blues in that shade. The only thing I can find that's similar in the base color is Pretty Serious Pookie. So that one is a similar kind of sky blue, a little lighter and kind of aqua-like, but Pretty Serious Pookie is just a cream shade, and the Native War Paint has more flakies in there, so it definitely has a more added interest. But base color wise, I think those two are somewhat similar. And then we have Night Owl Lacquer Rainbow Bite. So that one is a really interesting one. I do feel like the last 2 to 3 months-ish time, there were multiple interesting kind of white flaky polishes offered by different brands at different places. Maybe that's kind of like a trend. I don't know, but I do feel like I'm seeing it a lot more often nowadays. And especially, it's very similar to last month, March PPU's offering from Maiden, and the color is called Lady Godiva. I feel those two shades are very similar. Maybe Lady Godiva has a little more pink in there, but I just think those kind of things are becoming a trend, and a lot of brands are offering them. And then there's another one from Cameo Colors Lacquers, and it's called Coronate Medusa. It's just a really, really bright kind of orangey summery shade. It's really pretty, and I definitely start to crave summer shades already, which is crazy because it's still pretty cold outside. But anyways, for that one, I picked my Supernatural Lacquer Cruel Summer. I've used that color to dupe a few shades already, the Supernatural Lacquer one. I think it's just a really well done kind of bright orangey shade. It's not quite neon, but it's really bright, and it has some interesting gold flakies in there, so I think those two are similar enough for my standard. I forgot to mention, I don't have swatches of all the polishes that I mentioned. Some of them I don't even own, so I'm going to try my best to either find my old swatches, or I would just pull pictures from the internet. I would try my best to credit the swatcher, but I think it's the best if you go look for those comparison pictures yourself too, because polishes could look really different on different skin tones. And of course, there's always the, like, your device has its own color correction issues. So I would highly suggest you to go look for your own pictures too. The next one I have is My Stunning Nails Koi. So that one is a little tricky because I thought for sure I have something similar, but I searched up and down. I found 3 that are similar, but none of them are like exactly the same, I want to say. And those 3 polishes, from the most gold to the most pink, are Zoya Astrid, Zoya Nadia, and LynB Designs Cinnamons and Lies. So I think the polish from My Stunning Nails is very interesting and intricate because it kind of shifts from a pink to a gold, or the color is kind of like in between of those 2 colors. And I feel Zoya Astrid is a little too gold for it, and LynB Design Cinnamon and Lies is a little too pink for it. And Zoya Nadia is probably the closest, but maybe a little deeper. It's a really interesting shade. I was fairly intrigued by it, but those are my picks that are similar in a finish. They're all shimmery kind of finish. Like, they're similar, but not the same. And then there is the DRK Nails Turquoise Attraction. So that polish is actually a magnetic polish, and I don't own anything that's magnetic and similar to that. But it did remind me of Lollipop Posse Lacquer's Something Wicked. The Lollipop Posse Lacquer polish is not a magnet polish, but the base color is kind of similar because they're both this really deep kind of jewel toned green base, metallic looking, with a lot of flakies. And of course, the DRK Nails has a more interesting effect once you apply the magnet. And on top of that, I feel the DRK Nails has more flakies, but also in a way they are somewhat similar. And then we have Pepperpot Polish and You Beautiful Tropical Fish. So going off topic a little bit, I actually talked about Pepperpot Polish, I want to say last month sometime in another video. I was wondering if the brand was still around because I haven't heard anything about the brand for a while. So I am happy that they are still around and they actually offered a polish this month. This polish, I don't think it's super unique because it's this deep kind of midnight sky kind of blue shade with a lot of hollow glitters, I think. Those kind of shades are not the most typical, I think, ever since Zoya came out with Zoya Dream. Just about every other brand has a version of it, either using a flaky or a glitter inside. But specifically, I picked my ILNP Good Vibes because I feel Good Vibes has more of the pound effect and it uses glitters, so it's the similarist to this Pepperpot polish. Then Cupcake Polish came out with a really bright, fun, almost neon kind of pink color. It is called Ready for This Jelly. For that one, I actually picked another polish also from Cupcake Polish. It's called Gamma, so that one is a brilliant, just gorgeous, flaky packed neon pink color. It's so beautiful, and I know Cupcake does those kind of neon pinks really well, and I think I'm even a little tempted to pick this one up. Fair Maiden actually came out with a really cool polish this month. That one I really like because it totally reminds me of another polish that's like one of my all-time favorite polishes. It's from Native War Paints. It's called Lightning. So Native War Paints Lightning was actually sent to me for PR swatch purposes, and I just really enjoyed that shade. It's this light, very light kind of baby blue / sky blue shade, and it's walking between the lines of being like a shimmery polish to a hollow polish to a dual chrome polish. It's a really different finish, and I just so very much enjoy that shade. And I feel the Fair Maiden polish this month is very similar to that. And if you couldn't find the Native War Paints Lightning anymore, maybe you will give this one a try. And then we have Quixotic Polish Tubular. For that one, I actually picked a shade from March PPU again because it just reminded me of that. And the polish is from Alchemy Lacquers, and it's called Sands of Giza. I feel those 2 polishes are very similar, but of course, I didn't pick up the Alchemy Lacquers polish last month, so I don't really have it to like see it in person to have that sort of comparison. So maybe my judgment is off, but just from the online pictures that I can see, I feel those two are very similar. So if you have already picked up the Alchemy Lacquers polish last month, maybe you would pass on the Quixotic polish this month. And then next I have KBShimmer Seems Fishy. That one is a really, really gorgeous kind of multi-chrome shade that shifts from a purple to a greeny, I want to say, or like a deeper greenish pewter color. There are many multi-chromes out there, and this kind of cool toned multi-chrome isn't the most common, I want to say. So this KBShimmer polish totally reminds me of Color Club Portfolio. I remember I picked up my Color Club portfolio maybe 3 years ago. It's been a while, so I don't know if they still carry it. I got mine from transdesign.com for $1. So you can't beat that. I mean, the KBShimmer definitely has more like a hollow flaky or a hollow shift to that. So it looks more elegant, more shifty, and it looks just more interesting. But the Color Club one is only $1, and it is a really good multi-chrome. And if I really want the extra kick of the hollow, I would just put a hollow topper over it. And then we have a really, really beautiful kind of soft muted baby blue color from Turtle Tootsie. It is called Get Out of the Water. So that one is really elegant, really cute, and it's perfect for the spring, for Easter. It reminds me a lot of Painted Polish Catching the Canal. I think that one was a polish pickup offering last year. I forgot when. Anyways, it's just a really well done kind of soft crelly, and it has a kind of like a rainbow colored flaky in there. I thought it was really cute, and for me, especially personally, I haven't worn my Painted Polish Catching the Canal after owning it for at least half a year now. So for that reason, I am not going to pick up the Turtle Tootsie one because they're similar. I have it untried, so that's reason enough for me to pass on it. And then the next one is a topper. So this one is from ILNP. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I've seen this brand around for quite a while now. And the color is called Reef Dancers. So this one is a really fun kind of multicolored topper, and it has some chunkier kind of dolphin shaped glitters in there too. So that's really fun, and it actually reminds me quite a bit of Anchor and Heart Lacquer Hello Jello Hangover that they offered last summer during PPU, I believe. So the Anchor and Heart Lacquer is a silver hollow base. It's a kind of scatter hollow base. You can probably get it opaque on its own after 3 coats, but I've always used it as a topper. So this month, the ILNP polish doesn't have hollow in there. It's just the fun color glitters, and versus the Anchor and Heart Lacquer has more hollow. So I think that's kind of different, but the colorful glitters inside are identical to me. But of course, on top of that, the Anchor and Heart Lacquer didn't have the chunkier dolphin glitters. So maybe that's different enough for you, but for me, I think they both provide the fun, glitter, multicolored summer vibe, and they're both toppers. For that reason, I think I would pass on to the offering this month. And then we have a Robin's Blue kind of crelly, and this one is from Chirality Nail Polish, and it's called Lost. That one totally reminds me of MLF Lacquer's Robin's Egg. I just did a swatch and review for them. Jessica sent me their whole spring collection. It was a 4-piece collection to review. Robin's Egg particularly looks super similar to this one. I think the base color and the flaky color and just overall vibe, those are very similar. And I know for a fact that MLF Lacquer is running like a sale. I believe she did a 20% off last weekend, and then she did a 15% off sale. I will go check out her Instagram. She has her sale information linked And her polish, if you buy them like on its own, it's $10 each plus some sort of discount. It's gonna be like half of the price of the PPU offering this month, and I feel they're similar enough, so maybe that saves you a little more money. But that's just, you know, my opinion. And then next I have one from Rogue Lacquer, and it's called Open Water. So this one, I don't personally own anything that's similar to it, and I really like this shade, honestly. And for that one, I picked Caddy Lacquer, One Day You'll Make a Dream Last. That one, I don't know, I don't feel they're quite the same because the Caddy Lacquer one has more of the glitters inside and the Rogue Lacquer is more flakies. But this color combo is just so fun because it's a soft kind of lighter powdery blue, and it has those bright red flakies in there. It's so summery, but at the same time it's so sweet, so it's not like super neon in your face kind of deal. And I really debated if I want to pick that one up. It's been coming in and out of my wish list a few times already, so I might just pick that one up. And also 90 Lacquer did one that's a little similar in concept over the winter. It's called Onesie, but the 90 Lacquer one has the glitters, first of all, and also the glitters are more sparse, and the blue base color aren't quite the same. But the idea, you know, it's like a blue base with red pops, so I just really love that idea. Next, we have a polish from Nailed It. So that one is gorgeous, and it actually has a really strong kind of purple flaky shift in there that is contrasting against this deep kind of green base. That's just gorgeous. But it totally reminds me of 90 Lacquer's Nebula. I think 90 Lacquer's Nebula has the same vibe. The purple isn't quite the same. And also the Nailed It polish has a stronger flaky effect. So it's a little more like punch in your face type of deal. So for that reason, you probably would prefer the Nailed It Lacquer a little more. But they are similar in a way, just the color combo, you know, of a green base and then the purple shift in it. Next, I have a polish from Geraint Cosmetics. That one is a beautiful kind of purple shimmery polish, and it reminds me of two polishes actually. One is from the brand Polish, and the color is called Eternity. And I just feel for a little bit the polish is a little deeper and more cool toned versus the Geraint polish is more pink leaning and a little softer and a little warmer and a little lighter. So the base color is a little different over there. But also there's another polish that's a little similar to it, is ILNP's High Voltage. So High Voltage is also a little bit on the deeper side, but again, it kind of feels the same just because they're both kind of shimmery purples. And again, I personally am not a huge like a purple fan, so I tend to skip my purples if I see a little bit of a similarity. But if you really like your purples and you would like the variety and the range of all the base colors, maybe that's just reason enough for you to pick it up. Next, I have a polish from Polish Molish. So that one is a thermal that shifts from a blue to a purple. That's really pretty, and I think those two colors are both cool toned and they are similar in the tone, but they are very different in color, obviously blue to purple. And the polish itself has a lot of flakies inside. It's a very well done polish, but it does remind me of Different Dimensions Born to Stand Out. And Different Dimension Born to Stand Out is actually a thermal that shifts from purple to green as well. So in that perspective, I think those two are very similar. However, the Different Dimension one has the silver flakies inside, and the Polish Molish is a not a scatter. It's more like a chunkier flaky, more like a UCC flaky. Gosh, words. But it depends on how picky you are, especially thermal polishes don't last as long. If you already have a blue to purple shifting kind of thermal, maybe this one isn't totally necessary. But I think those two shifts are very cool and very pretty. And then I have Graceful Nail Polish Beauty of the Sea. So that one is a beautiful kind of deeper berry / purple kind of almost jelly-like flaky polish. Those kind of shades aren't super unique in my opinion. Something that I picked is my Different Dimension UFO. That one was sent to me to review last fall. It was a really beautifully done collection, and UFO is just one of those kind of purplish, berryish, super strong pond effect kind of Crelly base, and I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know if Different Dimension still carries it. I do know that she tends to carry her polishes for a longer period of time, but at the same time, I think the graceful polish is pretty. It's just not super unique in my books. The very last polish now, so I have Bluebird Lacquer Kick His Ass Sea Glass. That one, it's really pretty, and it reminds me of Lollipop Posse Lacquers Walking with a Ghost. So those two polishes are both in this kind of silver-ish base, and it has a very prominent kind of blue flaky sitting on top. It's very pretty. I love my Lollipop Posse Lacquer Walking with a Ghost, and actually last month in March, Nailed It offered a polish that's very similar to it as well. Wait, is it Color Spectrum polish or Nailed It? I would write it on the screen because my memory is tricking me now, and obviously I didn't write it down. That's my own fault. But there was a similar polish last month too, and then this month Bluebird Lacquer offered a similar one again, and I hold my opinion that I really love shades like this. If you missed on the Lollipop Posse Lacquer and you missed on the polish from last month, maybe you will want to pick this one up because I think it is unique. Though this is our third time seeing it since last winter, so it just might be a thing that gets overdone too fast. But I think I still like it enough, and it's kind of unique enough for me, and if you don't already own a shade similar to it, maybe you would consider. So that's 21 polishes we talked here, and I know on the average base PPU will offer about 100 polishes every month, so this is only like 20% of it. I hope this is informative and helpful, and of course if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any shades that you are interested and want to dupe maybe and I just didn't see it, maybe leave me a comment down below. Let me see if I can find anything similar for you, or maybe other people will see your comment and help you too. So that will be it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.